Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining the Total Household Pro podcast. Today, our title is Five Must-Have Features for Your Construction Company Website. Now, there are a lot of things that we could talk about in regards to the website, but I'm just going to go over a few items for this podcast. Five areas to help you grab the attention of the visitor on the other side, as well as increase your conversions, also known as leads. Full disclosure, we are a digital marketing agency specifically for the home improvement and construction industry. I just want to put that out there. But I just want to go on some of the things that's both you can do for yourself for free sometimes, and also just what's important from that side. So one of the first things I wanted to talk about was just a very professional looking website. One that highlights the work that you do through images, a lot of professional images. From that side, stock images are okay, to get you started in the beginning, but you really want to personalize it with real work that you've done. And it could be broken up by projects. You could have different videos of the work you've done, and a good explanation of everything across the board. So, here's one client here. We have Cats Builders. She's pretty good about getting a lot of professional photography done for her projects and organizing it in that way by project. So she'll have different styles of homes that she shows that she's worked on. Some of them are like Italian villas or very country homes, that sort of thing, very modern. So that's a pretty good example from that side. You also want when I say have a very professional website, what I'm kind of talking about as well is to have things laid out, that are very easy to read. You'll see that they have credentials here, description of the business, overall, and then you get into pretty specifically on the services that they're offering. In this case, they're a design build firm. They do custom homes, renovations, kitchen and baths, that kind of stuff. So you want your homepage to be a little bit of everything. You don't have to go into a ton of detail, as you can see here with the gallery. We're showing some of the images, but not going into the full gallery because I think there's something like 1,200 images that they have. A little much, not that much is not necessary, but it's always helpful. And of course, a way to get in touch with them. Another feature, I'd say this is our number 2 thing to focus on, would always be a clear call to action. And what we mean by that, it could be the phone number and or the request a quote. And you can see in this case here, the phone number is right at the top of the page for this guy. And from when this site goes to mobile, it's clickable. Click to call. All the person has to do on their phone is right on the website is click that phone number and it'll dial for them. All right. The other thing, in the call to action is the request a quote. And you want that to be, readily available, easy to fill out, not asking for a lot of information. And here's the big conundrum is how much do you ask for in order so you have the most detail, but at the same time, don't make it too burdensome to the person on the other side so that they don't end up hitting the submit button and sending you the information. You don't want to ask too many questions, but you want to ask just enough. You can always ask more questions when they are a customer and you want to send them out like a questionnaire, especially if it's like it has to do with scheduling or something along those lines. So we have a pool customer, our client of ours right now, and they ask their customers, hey, is this saltwater versus chlorine pool? When do you want to book your closing of your pool for the season? And they give them a lot of options from that side. I'd probably say the third item that is pretty important is all your services to be broken up into individual service pages. Now, the reason why this is important is one, you could go into more detail about each one. But the other thing is it's really good for Google for what's called your SEO, search engine optimization, to have that type of detail listed out so that when Google, what's called scraping, goes and reads your site and all the information, it'll then be able to publish it. All right. And when stuff's organized that particular way, then they're able to, you get better SEO credit for that. So as you can see here with this one, even in the domain name, it says Cats Builders .com additions and expansions. They're calling. So it's even in the URL itself. And then you'll have certain keywords, along the way. More space, methods, this kind of stuff. Second story additions, kitchen additions, bathroom additions, all that kind of. Those are very important for additional keywords and tags along the way. So we think that's also extremely important. Now, I know I'm going a little fast here, so feel free to ask questions at any time if you'd like. Here's another reason why we like, one of our things is also credentials, and we really like our clients to put as many credentials as they have. Going back to this Cats Builders again, you can see that they're part of many organizations: National Kitchen Bath Association, NARI, NAHB, National Association of Home Builders, Texas Association, House, and they won the House Awards each year, things like that. Those are all great. You want to put as much as possible to show the end user you are a professional in your space and you're being recognized for that. They also, receive various awards, and they're very dedicated to, they're the Austin, Texas community, and also for applying for these to achieve these type of awards. Sometimes they're applied for, or sometimes they're independently recognized. So that type of stuff is absolutely great. It just brings up that professionalism level, and everybody wants to be with somebody they can trust. And the more credentials you have are greater barriers of entry of you into the industry. So you're not going to be one of those fly-by-night guys or pulling up in a truck that, hey, we're going to fix your house kind of guy. Here's Boston Exterior Remodeling. They got the 40 Under 40 award in 2020. And he focuses on, roofing, siding, windows, decks, and the whole bit. And again, same philosophies, with individual pages, for each service being offered. That's why these sites rank extremely well with Google, and they generate a significant amount of leads. As well as, a site like this one here, Boston Exterior Remodeling does the Google ads as well, and generates a lot of business from that. But in order for the Google ads to work correctly, your site has to be properly structured in order to score well, or otherwise you're just going to be wasting money from that side. The thing I like about Boston Exterior Remodeling as well is that they're very to make a conscious effort to utilize social media. So they're big on, Instagram accounts and Facebook and so forth. So they do a lot on their own, taking pictures of the guys with their shirts on, as you can see, and making a lot of effort from that side. And then one of the final pieces, and this is a bit longer one, is talking about SEO, search engine optimization. And that really covers three pieces. It's structural SEO, on-page SEO, and off-page SEO. Now, structural SEO has to do with the structure of the sites. Like we talked about, how the pages are laid out, the content of each page, the materials used, that kind of stuff. It also talks about the tagging on those pages. So you'll see, like on the Cats Builders site, if you hover your mouse over the tab itself, a pop-up will come there, and you'll see that, and that is called your title tag. That's probably the most important aspect of a website, because Google reads things from the top down, and this is one of the first things it reads. And we've structured them in a way so that it's the exact company name, the services that they offer, section 2. Section 3 is the location that they offer those services. So in this case, Austin, Texas, Rosedale, Rollinwood, Brentwood, etc. And then the last piece is the phone number. And this should be on every page in every title tag. And the reason is there might be another Cats Builders somewhere else in the country or even in Texas, but it's not going to have the same exact phone number. And think of the phone number as your unique identifier. That unique identifier is just not repeatable. There could be similar names, but no one's going to have your same phone number. And Google is smart enough to also know an area code, in this case 512, and the prefix 301, and knows that to be within Austin, Texas. So you're reaffirming to Google the location of the services being offered and where this company is. And what you're doing through all this is helping Google. And the easier you make it for Google, the more likely they're going to put you in the search results, because the information is just easily accessible and able to be found. That's a great thing. And we do that for all of our clients. Same thing with Boston Exterior Remodeling. You'll see that. And then we have another one here, Any Season Builders. You'll see like different styles. Sometimes we put the nav bar on the left or the right, but it's still the same structure all the time. Location, company name, what they do as a service. And then the phone number is the last element. In some cases, depending on the size of the company, we're going to put the company name first or the services first. Katz Builders is one that's well established, so we wanted to pull up that name as quick as possible, just because they have a great presence in the Austin, Texas area, as well as a lot of reviews on Google, Facebook, Houzz, etc. So we got into the structural and a little bit of the on-page SEO as well. That has to also do with the tags, the structure of the content, the services being offered, the images, make sure everything's tagged, the flow of information, from that side to Google. And then the third piece is called off-page SEO. And just to give you an example, we'll just see Katz Builders, Austin, Texas. All right. And so when you pull up Katz Builders, you'll see they have 32 reviews on Google itself. That's one that they've obtained from their customers. Great information. That's part of an off-page SEO strategy. As well as you'd see that they come up in many other places, Better Business Bureau, Guild Quality, Facebook, and all these other places. The same contractor comes up, Porch, Houzz, what have you. And that is because their information is clean, it's consistent across the internet. Here's just your Lucy Katz of the NKBA. And so by having so much information out there, Google's able to identify that this is the person you're looking for, based on the name and location, and here it is consistently across the internet. And that's extremely important to be found to build these profiles. I was talking to an interior designer a couple of days ago, and she wants to know who can I pay for services to do such things. I'm interested in doing things through Angie's List and Home Advisor and Thumbtack and everything else. And so when I looked at some of her information, though, it was like, you don't have yet any of these other items. So even if you pay for the leads, when the people go to look you up and try to verify the quality of your business, she didn't have a great website. It was just a Wix site. And she didn't have any other credentials listed, even though she was part of the National Association of Home Builders. And, that's all very important stuff. She didn't have a Houzz profile. You want to validate yourself as being a knowledge source within the industry and the level of professionalism, and they've earned awards. And that is a slow process. That takes time. And there's just no service you can pay for to, build a great reputation like that, quickly. What companies like ours do is we help you with making the site look as high-end, as professional as possible. But as far as, you need to get the reviews on your own and build those other profiles. And they have to be very intimate of your actual work and information. We highly recommend that for all of our clients. Is the pictures that they have are all of theirs, so no one else could ever claim that they're using them. Stock images are okay, and you own the rights to those, and they're very easy. But you're going to see those same images across the internet. You want your own unique ones that are yours, of actual work you've done, and you could describe the projects. So all that's very important. But yeah, and in regards to having a site like a Wix or Weebly or GoDaddy, just like anything, there's certain levels of things, and things like that are great if you have a little side hustle, or it's just something you have that's not very important. You're not going to generate a certain business, you want to show us a little bit of a profile, a few photos, and that's it. But if you really want a professional business, you need a professional site. And that's what, we offer from this side. There's other ways of obtaining it through other places, but, we really focus on that across the board. So, yeah, I'd like to open this up to any questions. If anybody has any questions whatsoever across the board, please, feel free to put it in the comments or chime in. Okay, so it doesn't look like we have any questions at this point. We'll wrap it up here. Feel free to take a look at our website. It's pro.totalhousehold.com, or feel free to give us a call at 1-800-325-4315. And you could actually book an appointment with us directly right from our website. There's a calendar there. You could book a 30-minute time slot, and we'll help you with any free advice to help you understand what services are being offered from other people, the effectiveness, and what direction you should take your company for this stuff. So again, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Hope you come back for our next one. Talk to you soon.